Okay, we rolling. All right, shalom, shalom. Before we get started, we'd like to give all honor, glory, and praise to the Most High God, Yahweh,
By
Hashem,
Yahweh
Yahweh.
Shai,
Right, his brother Kalak Ayash,
Brother Kazak.
Khan, and Yahweh, the world enemy calls God, Jehovah, Yahweh, all these incorrupt pronunciations. They do the same thing with our Lord, our King, our Savior, who the world calls Jesus the Christ. Ignorantly called Jesus the Christ. His name is Yahweh Shai. Yahweh meaning he exists. Yahweh Shai meaning he the deliverer. Right, so the Spirit was on us. The Spirit, this lesson is inspired by the Spirit to go into the Gentiles in the New Testament. All right, so with further ado, we're going to get straight into it. And shalom to the brothers and sisters scattered abroad and during temptation. So we're going to we're going to get straight into it. We're going to start with John chapter 7 and verse number 35. John 7 and 35. Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go that we should not find him? Will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles? What manner of saying is this that he said, ye shall seek me and shall not find me, and where I am, thither ye cannot come. So even in the time of Yahushua, our men didn't understand what was going on. We knew for sure that the Lord wasn't going to go to the Israelites living amongst the Greeks and teach the Greeks. Because when you go into the history, prior to this Roman captivity, the Israelites were in the Greek captivity. So we knew for sure that the Lord wasn't going to go deal with our men sacrificing, eating swine's flesh, and serving the goddess of Diana. But I want to get this I believe in the NLT. The GNT is good, but I'm going to see what it says in the NLT real quick. Let me see. Okay, calm. So this is John 7 and 35 in the NLT. The Jewish leaders were puzzled by this statement. Where is he planning to go, they asked. Is he thinking of leaving the country and going to Jews in other lands? Maybe he will even teach the Greeks. So this precept alone proves that the Gentiles in the New Testament, or the Greeks, because we're mainly focused on the Greeks, because everyone's worrying about the Greeks, the Edomites. It says there was Jews in other lands. So what this is and again, let me go back to that word diaspora. Did I pass it already? Oh, the dispersed. So, and it's the Greek word diaspora, and it means scattered. So scattering, dispersion of Israelites dispersed among foreign nations, of Christians scattered abroad among the Gentiles. So there's no way around it. We could close the book like the Lord. It's no. I mean, John 7 and 35 pretty much let you know on who these Gentiles are that the Lord was dealing with. So the Gentiles in the New Testament are Israelites. I'm gonna go to another one real quick. Or as a matter of fact, I'm gonna go back to the law real quick, to the curses, just to prove that one of the curses was that we would be scattered. So Deuteronomy 28 and verse number 64. And Yahweh shall scatter thee or disperse thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And that's exactly what we did when we was in what the scholars would call it the Greco-Roman captivity, because pretty much they're the same people. So we were serving other gods, and I'm gonna prove that real quick. I think it's Acts 19. I think it's Acts 19 and 35. This is who Paul went to. Paul went to the Israelites serving other gods. So this is Acts chapter 19 and verse number 34. But when they knew that he was a Jew, all with one voice about the space of 2 hours cried, great is Diana of the Ephesians. So see, we was all up and serving the goddess of Diana, and we was serving Jupiter, and we was all up in madness. But again, these was Jews in other lands. I mean, that's plain. Like the brother was saying at an earlier date, if you can't see this, the Lord has blinded you from seeing this.
Right.
But I want to get one more just to show. I'm going to go into the history real quick. If I'm moving too fast, you got to let me know.
Nah, you good.
Okay, come. This is John 10 and 22. So what we can ask a Christian, because it's always our Christian brothers. We love them, but it's always them. But we got to ask them. We'll take them to John 10 and 22, and we'll ask them. John chapter 10 and 22. And it was Jerusalem, the feast of dedication, and it was winter. So we will have to ask them, what is the feast of dedication? Now, if they don't know, what we're going to teach them. But they will have to answer, what is the feast of dedication? Well, we know it's the feast of Hanukkah or Hanukkah. But let me just go into it because it tells us. The Greek tells us. It says the dedication, the consecration, in particular, the annual feast celebrated 8 days beginning in the 25th of Caslu, the middle of our December, instituted by Judah Maccabeus in 164 BC in memory of cleansing of the temple from the pollution of Antiochus Epiphanes. So the Lord kept the feast of dedication. Now, what happened at the feast of dedication? Judas Maccabees killed the Edomites. So the Lord was okay with his people celebrating the despise of their enemies, the defeating of the Greeks. So the Greeks in the New Testament are not actually national Greeks, as Israelites living like Greeks.
All right.
And I'm gonna get a historical fact, and then I'll pass it to you. I think it's 2 Maccabees 6:6.
Yeah.
And also too, that verse proving that the Apocrypha is valid. I mean, because they extol the Lord, what they call him Jesus, but look, they're not going to despise Jesus' words. If not, there's nothing else to talk about after that. I want Greek. Well, I'll just get this. 2 Maccabees 6:6. Hold on. Yeah, I'll just get 2 Maccabees 6:6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient fast or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. So if we couldn't call ourselves Israelites, well, we call ourselves Greeks. So here it is. Fast forward to the New Testament. We were calling ourselves Greeks. So I'll start there, brother. But you go. I'll pass it to you.
And then you have Paul. Paul also called himself a Roman.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So you had our forefathers calling themselves Romans, right? We always called ourselves different things under these different captivities. And the brother about to get that precept, right? Where Paul called himself a Roman. He said, "Look, you can't smite a Roman, right? Is Paul Roman?" Now, if the Christians say Paul's a Roman, that's madness, man. Right? We know Paul he's an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. He said that himself, man. But why is Paul calling himself a Roman right here? Because again, this is by citizenship, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not the citizenship do not determine your nationality, right? This like now we'll call ourselves American. That's them living like Gentiles. They're living just like they live into the customs of the heathen, right? So we will refer to our people as Gentiles right now.
Mm-hmm.
But let's read Acts 22 and 29. It says, "Then straightway they departed from him, which had examined him, and the chief captain also was afraid after he knew that he was a Roman, and because he had bound him." You see that? And Paul, he referred himself as a Roman, right? So you had our forefathers, and this wasn't like a new thing. This is not a new thing that the Most High referred to his people as heathen or Gentiles or strangers. It's not a new thing. We read about this in the Old Testament. So if you read the Old Testament, when you get to the New Testament, it's not a new thing. Let's actually prove that. Let's get a precept in the Old Testament. Let's get the book of what I got. Let's get Leviticus. Actually, let's get Exodus 12 and 48. Because the Most High make two different type of distinctions between two type of strangers or Gentiles, right? Let's get that real quick. Exodus 12 and 48. All right. Actually, let's go to Exodus 12 and Exodus 12 and 43.
Okay.
Let's say. Exodus 12 and 43. It said, "And the Lord said unto Moses and Aaron, this is the ordinance of the Passover. There's no stranger eat thereof." Right? Talking about an actual stranger or a Gentile. And let's jump down to 49.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So at one point, the Most High said a stranger can't eat of the Passover. Let's see the different type of stranger. Exodus 12 and 48. "And when a stranger shall sojourn with thee and will keep the Passover to the Most High." So there's two type of different strangers right here. One that can't eat of the Passover and one that can eat of the Passover. So again, this is not a new thing. When the Most High again in the New Testament, people just get confounded when they see the word Gentile or when they see Greek, right? People just get confounded and damn, I'm all emotional, right? So let's go to the book of Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Matthew. Let me get this research right quick. John. Let's go to Matthew. What's that precept? Slakia.
No, you could.
Slakia. I need this precept. You probably know it off the top. You know the precept with the women in Matthew?
Sarah Phoenician.
Yeah, Con.
Yeah. Mark
Can't
7.
okay, Con, Mark the water.
Mm-hmm.
Con, this is Mark 7. Where is that? Okay, Con, right there. Yep. This is Mark 7 and 26. It says the woman was a Greek, a Syrophoenician by nation, and she besought him that would cast forth the devil out of her daughter. So this woman, she's calling herself, it says that she was a Greek, but it says Syrophoenician by nation. So again, when you got a New Testament, when you got Galatians 3 and 28, when it says there's neither Jew nor Greek, our peoples were, well, you had different people referring to them as, people was referring to themselves as Greeks because how vast and how much strong of an influence the Greek Empire had on the people and on the minds of the people. Wherefore they was calling themselves Greek. Like the brother just read in Second Maccabees, and chapter 6 and verse number 6, that they was calling themselves Greeks. So you had Israelites that was calling themselves Greeks. You had Paul that called himself a Roman. You had these Gentiles in the New Testament are Israelites that's living like Gentiles, right? And then let's go to Second Maccabees again.
What chapter you want?
Go to chapter 6. Let me see. One second. So let me get Second Maccabees 4 and 15. Just to prove that we was doing this. This really happened. This is our history right here, right? This Second Maccabees 4, verse number 15. It says, not setting by the honor of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all. So you had Israelite men that wanted to be like the Greeks so bad that they was setting aside their glory, their honor. They put beside, the Moses law, the laws, the commandments of God, and they said we're gonna be like the Greeks. And you had men like this, man. For the most I say, look, hey, these are the Greeks. You a Greek, man. Right? So these Gentiles in the New Testament, it don't matter. The Most High, he came to save the Israelites. Salvation is for the Israelites, right? So these Gentiles in the New Testament, like Galatians 3 and 28, it's talking about Israelites. All right, what you got it?
Con, that's I was gonna get a picture, but I don't want nothing crazy to come up. But it's the same thing like now. Like our people like July 4th, which July 4th is coming up. Everybody gonna be dripped out in American flags.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Our people will rather call themselves an American than an Israelite. I ain't no damn Israelite.
Right, yeah.
That's exactly what our people would say. So, and then one will have to ask you have to ask somebody, if we love the glory of the Grecians best of all, that means we were calling ourselves Greeks. We was coons. It always was coons amongst our people.
Yeah.
The Lord said, among my people are found wicked men. There was always traitors amongst our people all the time. But I was thinking of this precept, it slipped me. But oh yeah, that con. Because when you deal with the Passover, the Lord said there were certain Greeks that came up to keep the Passover. Why does it use that word certain? Because it wasn't just talking about any old holly jolly white man. It was talking about certain Greeks, meaning these were a certain particular type of Greeks, meaning they were Israelites.
Yeah.
Let me just get the context just to prove that it's talking about the Passover. We just read, the brother just read in the law that a stranger, a brother, a gar could eat the Passover. That's the Hebrew word for stranger. Or a nakar, a literal stranger cannot eat the Passover. So let's see in the New Testament, when the Passover is being kept, again, proving that the law is still in effect. But that's a lesson for another day.
Right.
John chapter 12 and verse number hold on. Hold on. This is right before. It says the feast, but this feast is the Passover. I thought it said it plain, but don't say it plain. Okay, come. It'll say it right, verse number 1. Slock it. John 12 and 1. Then Yahushua 6 days before the Passover came to Bethany, where Lazarus, which had been dead, whom he raised from the dead. So we get the context. We know that this feast going on down is the Passover. So let's go down to verse number 20. John 12 and 20. And there were certain Greeks among them that came up to worship at the feast. Now, these weren't actual Edomites. These were Israelites, because we know a stranger cannot eat the Passover, no matter what. The Lord don't change. And there was something else I was thinking about too. But it slipped me. Well, matter of fact, yeah, the Lord always referred when we were at, I'm gonna get Isaiah 1. When we're doing the things the other nations do, the Lord refers to us as the other nations. So let me get Isaiah chapter 1 and verse number 9. Except Yahweh of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. Verse number 10. Hear the word of the Most High, yea, rulers of Sodom. Now, are we actually men of Sodom? No, but when we do the things of Sodom, like it's a saying, Esau says, when in Rome, do as the Romans. So it's the same thing. We're in America and we're doing what the Americans do. Give ear unto the law of our power, yea, people of Gomorrah. So the Lord refers to us as Sodom and Gomorrah. So, I mean, people think that the Gentiles in the New Testament aren't Israelites because they don't know the Most High and they don't read the Bible. All you have to do is read to understand what the Lord is talking about. But I'm gonna get another Ezekiel 16.
And I had a point real quick.
Go ahead, you got it.
That's what the Most High said. You got to go precept upon precept, line upon line.
Yep.
Right. That's how you're gonna get the understanding. Because if you don't go precept upon precept, you're not gonna know. You're not gonna know how the Most High really deals and how the Most High really works and how he deals with his people.
Yep.
So I just want to add that point.
Yep, that's a good point too. Just a little side note too. And then when you see what's going on right now with our people in real time, the Lord judged the northern kingdom first, and then he came and got the southern kingdom.
Yep.
So I mean, that's just a little side note, especially people that saying the Gentiles in the New Testament, not Israelites. But Ezekiel 16 and 1. Again, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, cause Jerusalem to know her abominations, and say, Thus saith the Lord God, unto Jerusalem, thy birth and thy nativity is of the land of Canaan. Thy father was an Amorite, and thy mother a Hittite. So the Lord called us Hamites because we wanted to do the things that the Hamites was doing. Yep. We wanted to sacrifice our babies, drink blood, and just do all manner of lewdness. And I'm gonna get the precept the brother quoted earlier, because it's literally going into us being like the Hittites and the Canaanites, the Hamites. Psalms 106 and verse number 35. But were mingled among the heathen and learned their works, and they served their idols, which were a snare unto them. Yea, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils, and shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and of their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan, and the land was polluted with blood. So we were doing these things, and look, the Lord was calling us Canaanites. So it's nothing new under the sun. Same thing right now. Jake about to be grilling pork chops. If we, Lord willing, I mean, if we make it that far, but hey, if we do make it that far, great Jake will be grilling pork chops, and he will be an American. Proud American at that.
Yeah.
But let me get Acts chapter 6 and 1. So just to get an account on what was going on. So this is Acts 6 and 1. And in those days, when the number of the disciples was multiplied, there arose a murmuring of the Grecians against the Hebrews, because their widows were neglected in the daily ministration. So it was once the leadership, Paul and Peter, James and John, started, the new believers started coming in, there was beef between the new believers, which was Israelites living like Greeks, and the circumcision. So this is what we see. Let me go into that word, Grecians. So it's Hellenistes, and it says, one who imitates the manners and customs or the worship of the Greeks and the use of a Greek tongue used in the New Testament of Jews born in foreign lands and speaking Greek. So there's no way around that. There's no way around that. A Greek-speaking Jew. So if whenever anybody says anything about to the Jew, to the Greek, you ask them, were there any Greek-speaking Jews? If they say no, then Like the brother said, precept upon precept, line upon line. Greek speaking Jew. So why now, knowing the fact that there is Greek speaking Jews, why the hell would he go to an actual Greek? What about the Greek speaking Jews?
Right.
I don't know what to tell these people, man. But let me get on. I mean, go ahead.
So like it, but he already made the promises already unto Israel. He already established the covenant and the promises, everything. When you read Romans 9.
Yeah.
Everything was to the Israelites. So why would he go until a nation that's not even in the covenant or a part of the promise that he made to a certain group of people? It don't even make sense.
At this point, it's for our brothers and sisters coming into this thing because, I mean, hey, the Lord said, hey, everybody not gonna get it.
Nah,
everybody not gonna get it. It's brothers and sisters coming into this thing. This for them, and Lord willing for us, because our people, man, mainly these people they can't see it. It's plain up on tables. This verse is for them. John 11:49. And one of them named Caiaphas, being a high priest that same year, said unto them, Ye know nothing at all, nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, and that the whole nation perish not. And this spake he not of himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Yahushua should die for that nation. What's the nation of Israelites? And not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together in one the children of Yahweh that were scattered abroad. So that's plain. In one, why? Because the northern kingdom was already over here on this part, the fourth part of the world, which will be Arshareth, which the world will call now America or Babylon. It was already over here. That's who the New Testament are Israelites. Salaki, the Greeks in the New Testament are Israelites. That's plain. That's plain. And the Lord is bringing us one back together, one fold. This biblical prophecy happening.
I got a precept.
Yeah, Khan.
I got Psalms 147 and 19.
Oh, Salaki.
Psalm 147:19 says, He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation. As for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Most High, man, and praise the Most High, man. That's a beautiful precept, man. Why don't the people talk about this precept? He showeth his word unto Jacob and his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. It said he have not dealt so with any nation. He haven't dealt with any other nation, man. He's dealing with the Jacob, right, and his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. Right, so that this is very plain that the Most High is dealing with the children of Israel, So in the New Testament, we gotta use the just use your mind, man. Just use your mind. If the Most High is coming to save and he's dealing with the Israelites, why the hell would you think he's gonna deal with the other nations, man? You just by default you have to know, and then going with the precepts, we showing you that. Not just one time, but multiple times, the Most High referred to as his people as heathen or as Gentiles. You just got to make it make sense. Let me get one more. Second Ezra 2. Second Ezra 2 and let's start at 33. The Most High referred to as actual heathen.
Yeah. That's the spirit I was thinking about it.
Second Ezra 2 and 33. And it says, I, Ezra, received a charge of the Lord upon Mount Oreb, that I should go into Israel. But when I came unto them, they set me at naught and despised the commandments of the Most High. And this is what Israel always do, right? This is not a new thing. And therefore I say unto you, O you heathen, right? O you heathen that hear and understand, look for your shepherd, and he shall give you everlasting rest. For he is not at hand that shall come into the end of the world. So again, the Most High referred to his people as heathen. Like the brother just read, the Most High referred to as all type of different things, man. If you acting like something, that's not something that you want to be called. You don't want to be called a heathen. That's messed up, right? But the Lord referred to you. If you acting like a heathen, hey, he gonna call you a heathen. Lord trying to get you. He trying to get you to have, so you could be like, hey man, the Lord trying to wake you up, man. That's what the Lord trying to do, man. You don't want to be called no heathen. That's like somebody calling you something that you're not, man. You don't want that, man. But let me get one more. Amos 5,
Come.
verse number 20. Wait, let me see.
Phew, yeah.
25.
Said 25.
Yeah. Kind of Amos 5 and 25 says, "Have you offered unto me sacrifice and offerings?" Right? And the wilderness 40 years, O house of Israel. But you have borne a tabernacle of Molech. And how you say that second word, Salakia?
Salaki, my bad. Where
Molech.
you?
It's Molech, verse number 26. Molech and
Why say it? I believe it's going into Chemosh. I don't know why it looked like that on the KJV.
yeah, look.
I think it's Chemosh.
Okay, Khan. Okay, Khan. It said you have borne the tabernacle of Molech and Chemos, your images, the star of your God, which you have made to yourselves. Nevertheless, it's two damn idols, man.
Right. The Lord said, "Don't even mention the name of other gods."
Right. And we was serving other gods, right? Serving other gods again. Let me continue on.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, I will call you to go into captivity. So again, there you go. That captivity or the dispersed again. The Most High made us go into captivity. He dispersed us, scattered us again.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond Damascus, saith the Most High, whose name is the Lord God of hosts. So again, the Most High scattered us. He called us to go into captivity because we were serving other gods, living like Gentiles. Let me get 1 Corinthians 12. We didn't even bring it out yet. Kind of 1 Corinthians 12 and 2. It says, "You know that you were Gentiles, carried away into these dumb idols, even as you were led." Right. So again, the Most High, he said, "You know that you were Gentiles." You can't used to be a Gentile. It's impossible, right? We gotta wake up, man. Israel gotta wake up. You can't used to be a Gentile. If Gentiles always apply to a different nation or a different nation of people outside of Israel, why is he saying you used to be a Gentile? That means it's two type of different Gentiles by default.
Mm-hmm.
They got to deal with this.
Mm-hmm.
I want a Christian to comment below and explain this verse. And tell me what this explaining. What does this mean? 1 Corinthians 12 and 2. That you know that you were Gentiles. How can you used to be a Gentile? Carried away into these dumb idols, even as you learn. So you see that Gentile, the Most High referred to you as a Gentile if you're serving other gods.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we was doing in the New Testament. We were serving other gods because we was mingled amongst the people, right? But you got it.
Come on. That's it. And I'm gonna go to it because this is what they go to. They run to Ephesians 2.
Yep.
So Ephesians 2 and verse number 11. "Wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh," and they stop right here, in the flesh. But when you go into this word flesh, it just means, matter of fact, I'm gonna go into it. It means it's sarx, but it means the flesh. It's literally talking about the flesh covers with the bone, but the way it's used here is used of natural physical origin, and that's not how it's used here. Living creature, because possessed of a body, whether man or beast, of flesh, human nature, the nature of a man, carnal, carnal minded. So being carnal, it's not actually the way it's being used. It's not talking about in the flesh. It's being carnal, and we get it. And we, of course, we're gonna back it up with a precept. I'm gonna go back to Ephesians 2, but I'm gonna go to Romans 8 real quick.
Yeah.
Romans chapter 8 and verse number 5. And the Lord, and again, and Paul is talking to what the world would say, Gentiles. This is what he said to the Gentiles. This is what it means in the flesh. Romans 8 and 5. "For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace." So he's talking about being a wild animal, breaking the commandments, serving other gods, eating damn anything you want to eat, popping whatever you want to pop. Yeah. That's in the flesh. That's what he was talking about in Ephesians 2, not actual genealogy, or it would say it. It would say it. Now I'm reading again, Ephesians 2 and 11. "Wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh," meaning you were living like the other nations, acting like an animal, carnal. That's what he's talking about. who are called uncircumcision by that which is called circumcision in the flesh made by the hands. Yeah, the Israelites was getting on you, and rightfully so. But the only thing is, where they was going off was that they couldn't see Yahushua. So what Yahushua had to do, bring the people that was living like beasts in to, I mean, it's deep to basically humble the circumcision. And that's another lesson for another time. But verse number 12, that at that time ye were without Hamashiach, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel, and strangers, there go that word strangers again, from the covenants of promise, having no hope and without Yahweh in the world. Because we didn't know nothing. We didn't. We grew up in the Greek customs. Wasn't Timothy's father a Greek? We grew up in the Greek customs, so we didn't know. We didn't know nothing about us prior to knowing this truth. We were strangers without the covenants of promise, having no hope, and without the Most High in this world. So it's the same thing applies today. I mean, if our people, it's plain upon tables.
Yeah.
But damn, it was something else. But let me just get that. I quoted it because they will go here too. Timothy's father was a Greek.
Yeah.
Now was Timothy a Greek? No, because we understand you are what your father is, but no. It's meaning his dad would fall into the category he liked the glory of the Grecians best of all. Where is it? Acts 16:1. Then came he to Derbe and Lystra, and behold, a certain disciple was there named Timotheus, the son of a certain woman which was a Jewess, and believed, but his father was a Greek. Because that was a big thing. We wasn't really. Hey, because you gotta understand that these Greeks just came and took down our temple like 100 years but prior to this. So it was still a new thing on the earth. So it's like right now, like how everyone still, which America tried to make us forget slavery, but no, you say something about slavery, everyone knows about what happened to us 120, 50 years ago.
Yeah.
So the same thing when we would bring up the Greeks, everybody well knew what just happened, what the Maccabees just had got done doing. It was a new thing on the earth. It was still fresh. So if you was an Israelite living like a Greek, you were worst. You was like the worst. You see it, and they show you like in these movies, like I forgot what movie it was, but like you the worst kind. Like,
Yeah.
you know how people that the so-called the field niggas be like you the worst kind.
Yeah. You're right.
But you calling yourself a Greek, you the worst kind.
Yeah, you the worst. Yeah.
You the worst kind.
Yeah.
But this is what I wanted, but we get a couple more after this. Unless you got more.
Nah, that's
For the
it.
most part, through the spirit, I feel like we covered it.
Okay.
And this is what, and the Lord said that. This how the Lord, now, Lord willing, this is not a Lord willing, our people sincerely want to learn and don't buck up against this blatant truth. But the Lord said, if you can't get it, the Lord said he's gonna treat people like a heathen.
Yeah.
Where is it? Let me see. Matthew chapter 18 and verse number 17. And if he neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as a heathen man and a publican. So again, a heathen man and a publican are despised. So if you, because brothers do these videos, brothers go out and teach. If you can't continue to hear, this is not our words. This is not our word. This is the words of the Most High. The Lord's gonna say this. He's gonna treat you like a heathen or publican man. Physically, but it's gonna feel like it. Because nobody wants to hear this. Matthew 7:21. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. So we want to be rejected. We want to hear that good, wise, and faithful servant. But it's plain upon table. The Gentiles, New Testament, they're Israelites. And I get another precept. I'll go to the prophet, and then I'll end off with this, and I'll pass it to you. I think it's Isaiah 54. Isaiah 54 and verse number, I'll read 8 and 9. In a little wrath I hid my face from thee for a moment, but with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, saith Yahweh thy Redeemer. For this is as the waters of Noah unto me. Now, this is the Most High making a promise. Now, the waters never, I want to slow down a little bit. When the Most High made the covenant to Noah, the earth has never flooded again. And then the Lord would have for sure, now the Lord could do what he want to do, but he would have added the other nations in here. He's talking to this promises to the nation of Israel. I'll read it one more time. hold on. I'm gonna read up a little bit. I'm gonna start at verse number 5. Isaiah 54 and 5. For thy maker is thy husband, the Lord of hosts is his name, and thy redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. The God of the whole earth shall he be called. For the Lord have called thee as a woman forsaken and grieved in spirit, and a wife of youth when thou was refused, saith thy power. For a small moment have I forsaken thee, but with great mercies will I gather thee. In a little wrath I hid my face from thee for a moment, but with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, saith Yahweh thy Redeemer. For this is as the waters of Noah unto me. For as I have sworn that the waters of Noah should no more go over the earth, so have I sworn that I will not be wroth with thee, nor rebuke thee. So the word of the Lord's people. The only way we're not the Lord's people no more, and if the whole earth flood again with water, and that's not going to happen because the Lord said it's not going to happen. It's going to flow with fire this time. But you got it, King.
God, that's I mean, if you can't get it, then that's on you, right? You gotta just I don't know, man. I mean, the priest is making it. It's getting more and more plain. But let me get Romans 9 real quick.
Go ahead.
Just to get the icing on the cake. Romans 9, verse number 2. It says, I had great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I wish that myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of God, and the promises. And I just want to add a quick point right quick. Because when people try to say the Gentiles can be saved, it's just really so the white man could be saved. Just to be blamed and like just be honest and blunt about it. It's really to say the so-called white man, you know. It's Stockholm syndrome, man. You gotta let it go, man. You gotta let your emotions and your feelings come to the side and see what the word of the Most High said. You know, for the Gentiles in the New Testament to be saved, it's not. It contradicts and they go completely against the scriptures, right? Completely against the scriptures, right? So I'm reading verse number 4 again. Who are Israelites to whom pertain the adoption? So the Israelites pertain to adoption, and the glory. So the Israelites getting all the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of God, and the promises. So everything pertains unto the Israelites. And can you jump down to verse number, scroll down just a little bit?
Before I do, can I read verse 5 too? It says, whose are the fathers, and of whom as concerning the flesh. Now, this is talking about the actual flesh. Christ came, who is over all. God bless forever. Amen. But where you want to go, King?
God, right? You could go. I usually continue reading on. Verse number 6. Not though the word of God had taken an effect, for they are not all Israel, which are of Israel, right? Neither, because they are the seed of Abraham, are they all children. But in Isaac shall thy seed be called. That is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of God, right? These are not the children of God, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed. You see that? So the Most High saying, Isaac, thy seed shall be called. And we know who came out of Isaac, Esau and Jacob. And who was chosen? Jacob. Who was put by? Esau. So everything is really for Israel. Let me get one more and I'll close up. Acts 5 and 31. And it's the good news, right?
This is the good news. Out, yeah, come on.
We love this, man. This is good news until somebody that need it, man. We need it. If you an Israelite out there, you know darn well you need this. You need to hear these words right here. This give you hope. You feel good hearing all these promises. Oh, this is for like, come on, man. Right? Acts 5 and 31. Him have God exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior for to give repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins. So forgiveness of sins and repentance is for Israel, right? Not for everybody else. One more, Hosea 1 and 10. Hosea 1 and 10, it says, and yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in a place where it is said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God. And everywhere we was put to shame, man. Everywhere, man. We was put to shame. We was called these different names, and we was given these different nicknames. But in a place where it was said unto them, you are not my people, there's going to be said unto them, you are the sons of the living God, man. That's what's happening in the last days. The Most High refers to us as Gentiles right now, but in the last days we waking up. That's why when you read in Revelation, the Most High said we stood up on our feet and we lived we lived 1,000 years, man. We gonna stand up, and that's what's happening. We standing up on our feet, and breath came into us, and now we living now, right? So these Gentiles, they waking up. The Gentiles is waking up in the last days, man. But hey, this is a history book about a nation of people. You can't just include yourself into somebody's book. Imagine we go to damn China and we take their records and we try to include ourselves in their records. They would go to war, man.
Cookie.
Imagine remember that one count with Putin. He said that they had to have his paying up.
Oh, that was Kim Jong-un.
Oh, Kim Jong-un.
Yeah,
right?
same. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Same thing. So imagine we going over there and we try to erase his stuff, man, and include us in it. He'll go to war, man. So that's what these nations did. They took our book and they try to include themselves in it. They try to fit their way in there and say, look, hey, we can get away with this. We the Gentiles. But no, man, we were the Gentiles, man. We refer to the Most High referred to us as Gentiles, heathen, strangers. Nothing new under the sun, man. But hey, we're the Israelites, man.
That's right. I got a precept. I guess we can end off with this. This Revelation, and everybody wants to. This is what's gonna happen to the Gentiles. Revelation chapter 11, verse number 1. And there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood, saying, Rise and measure the temple of God and the altar and them that worship therein. But the court which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles. And the holy city shall they tread underfoot 42 months. We are the holy city. This is a precept of Luke 21-24. We are the temple now. We represent the temple and the altar in the city. And they're treading us down. And when you go into 42 months, it's a time of judgment or affliction. It's not a literal number, it's a spiritual number. It's time of judgment and affliction. But that time, the Lord is undoing the time. The Lord is undoing all that afflict us.
Yeah.
So the Gentile, the Lord is not measuring the Gentiles. Why? Because they're going to be on the outskirts. The Lord is dealing with us and only us. The Lord have mercy on Jacob and will always choose Israel. Roughly paraphrasing.
But
yeah, with that, give honor, glory, and praise to the Most High God, Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, Raish Brother Kalak Ayash,
Brother Kazak.
Until next time, Shalom family, Shalom to the brothers and sisters scattered abroad. Till next time we say,
Shalom.
Shalom.